I guess in the 80s, who are some of the tag teams that you managed besides the Samoans?
Oh, the Samoans. I had the British Bulldogs,
Right.
and I had who else did we have then?
Fuji and Saito.
Fuji and Saito. Yeah.
What were they like to work with?
Fuji and Saito. Well, you know, Saito was I think a silver medalist or something for me. He was like the Iron Sheik. The Iron Sheik from Iraq was a silver medalist. And very good wrestler. And Mr. Fuji has been around. He was with Toru Tanaka years ago, and you know, it was great. I had some good guys that I worked with.
I've been told from a lot of people that Mr. Fuji was like the king of ribs. Is that pretty much
Oh, he would do anything. He'd rib anything. I'm telling you. He put some rotten apples on top of what's his name's car on the manifold. As the car heated up, he could smell the apples and the garbage. Fuji would do anything to drive you nuts.
What are your memories of Buddy Rogers as a worker?
Buddy Rogers, as a worker, was a magnificent worker. He looked the part until the day he passed away. He'd strut around. He was married to a woman called Nature Girl, who was a very beautiful woman. And Buddy was friends with Billy Darnell and Ducky Dugganero. It was the old crowd. And when Buddy walked in the ring, you knew he was a championship caliber type guy. He had that strut about him. He weighed about 240 pounds, about 6'1" or so, or two. And Buddy Rogers was truly a legend. And I got to say, a great athlete and a great wrestler.
How about Crusher Verdú?
Crusher Verdú. Oscar Verdú came from Spain. He wasn't a technical wrestler. He was just a big, powerful guy. Had about a 60-inch chest, and he'd get out there, but he couldn't talk. So they had me going out there and doing all the hype for him and the talking.
Who taught you how to do promos and stuff back in the day? Was it just natural?
Really nothing. It just came in. Years ago, I wrestled Jackie Gleason before the Honeymooners. He was the show of shows, Reggie Van Gleason. He calls Vince up at the office. We go down to 57th Street. We get in there, and he calls us in, and he said, "Gentlemen," he said, "if I get hurt, the skit's off." Now, that was my idol, Jackie Gleason. I used to look up to him. They had a tag team, Arnold Skolin and Jackie Gleason,
right?
Okay, with a harness on his back, but you couldn't see it. Their tag team. My partner was Skull Murphy. Skull Murphy is now deceased, passed away. It was Jim Bernard and Skull Murphy. We were old tag team years ago. So Skull and I was a monk. He was something else. We had hoods on, and we go in the ring, and the referee is Tony Altamori. And ladies and gentlemen, from Clam Grove, Arkansas, the monk, and I come out with the hood, and they introduce everybody. And from the back of the stage, they said, "And now, the legendary Reginald Van Gleason III." He's got slave girls carrying him like a sultan, an Arabian sultan. They're fanning him with fans. You got about 20 people carrying him, bottle of vodka and a thing he's going, well, I don't know if it was vodka, but water or vodka. And he had a thing like the strongman in the circus, one of them leopard skin suits on. He gets out of the thing, walks over to Skull Murphy, hits him, he flies out of the thing, hits me a shot, I go out of the ring, goes back to his partner, Arnie puts his hand out to shake with him, he belts his partner, and they fly him across the Ed Sullivan Theater, which is where Letterman shoots now in New York. And that went on, and we got in those days, $750. The office, we gave like a broker fee of $250, $500 in them days was, like I said, $3,000, $4,000 today.
Right.
And then we got residuals and so forth, so that was great.
How about the Valiant Brothers? You manage them too?
Valiant Brothers, Jimmy's down below, has a wrestling school down in somewhere in the Carolinas. Johnny is stationed in New York now. He's doing a lot of commercials, TV work. He made some appearances for us at Burt Young's restaurant. Burt Young's a friend of mine. He owns El Bachito over here in the Bronx. And in fact, we're working on this movie Big Time that we may do some scenes in Burt's restaurant. And Jimmy was there, Johnny rather. Right. Johnny came in. His name is Johnny Sullivan. He comes out of Pittsburgh and broke into the days with Bruno Sammartino and so forth.
Now, eventually you went on to manage Ivan Koloff, and he beat Bruno for the world title. What was Ivan like?
Ivan was a very nice guy, articulate guy, okay? I forgot his real name. He used the name Koloff. He came out of, Canada, and he wrestled in Canada. He wrestled here, and then he wrestled Bruno for the title and took the belt from Bruno. And Ivan did very well. He was a terrific guy.
What about the Wild Samoans?
Alpha and Sika, okay? First of all, there's nobody tougher than these guys. I mean, they'll go through the wall. They can do anything they want. Sika is a very laid-back individual, but he can be a very vicious guy. Good guy. Don't get me wrong. And Alpha, the two of them, perhaps they were the toughest tag team I've ever managed. I mean, these guys are, in real life, if you put them out there, you'd have to hit them with a 2x4 or something to take them down.
One of the most classic angles I remember is when it was them against Rocky Johnson and Tony Ellis when he hit with the chair.
I said, it's a mistake. I said, if the guy's supposed to be so tough, 20, 30 stitches, so what? He should have took it.
Right. What about your memories of the Samoan Strongbow matches? What are your memories of those matches between the two?
Well, Strongbow was very good, Scopper and, Scopper, I'm giving you his real name. I said, well, everybody knows, I used to call him a Wapaho, and I can use that word because I'm Italian. I said, well, you an Indian? You've never seen an Indian in your life. His name is Joe Scopper. But maybe I think someone in his family was part Indian or whatever, so he took the name up. But they had very good matches, and, and I enjoyed the tags in those days better. They get a little away. Well, today they do have tag team matches, but they had more of them then, I think. The tag teams were more, vital in them days.
No, as Vince Sr. started, I guess, going back. Well, actually, Vince Jr. started taking over, and you saw him starting to get more involved, and he was doing promos.
Right. Vince would do the promos and would do the commentating, and Vince Sr., always respected other areas. He wouldn't go past Virginia. When you got down into Virginia, like, say, the northern part of Virginia, Richmond, and maybe Culpeper and so forth, then the rest of it was down for the Carolinas. And that was Jim Crockett. Right. When you get out to the around Pittsburgh area, Bruno eventually had a little territory in Pittsburgh, just his local area. And then he wouldn't go out to Chicago because Fred Kohler was there, was his friend. He'd go up as far as Maine, and you had Jack Witchy. Jack Witchy's up in Attleboro, and you had Bill Lewis would run. Vince stayed in his own territory, kind of. And when guys got finished wrestling here, then maybe went to Chicago for Fred Kohler. Then Vince got national TV, got the TV bigger and bigger, and it started spreading all around. So in a way, he got a lot of people, I guess, a little ticked because he went all over the country, all over the world. But it's come into a business where I say it's out doing football and boxing and pay-per-view events. I don't approve of everything they're doing. I think they're getting a little too crazy, and you got to set it down for the kids a little because some of these kids are trying this stuff. You should tell them it is a prearranged contest. But McMahon said it's a prearranged contest and showmanship. Okay, fine. Tell the kids not to try to do it unless they're trained.
All right. What are your memories of managing Baron Michael Cicluna?
Baron Cicluna from Malta, okay? Big guy, rugged guy, tough guy. And his partner was King Curtis. You just came back from Hawaii. You did down in Morocco. Well, that's where Curtis is from. And Curtis got over real big in Australia. He worked over there for Jim Barnett, who was the promoter at that time in Australia, and made a lot of money, did very well. And then he was friends with Mark Lewin and the Lewin brothers and so forth. Yeah.
How would you compare working for Vince Sr. to Vince Jr.? How are they different?
My own personal opinion, Vince Sr., I could go to him anything I wanted, and okay, Captain Lou, this and that. Vince Jr., I said, is an aggressive businessman. He and I were never that close. I mean, I respect, would let him make his living, and, as I said, he's not here now to defend himself. I'm not knocking him. He's now starting this, XFL football. Right. I don't know what it's going to be like. He's getting a lot of publicity on it. I don't know if it's going to hurt the NFL because they're so well established, but it's something. I mean, he's got his restaurant there in New York that's doing gangbuster business, from what I hear.
Was his father easier to work with than his son, or?
I think I enjoy working with the father. I could never say anything bad about the father.
Right.
I'm not saying anything bad about the kid, but I think he's a little too aggressive for me. I took a premature release some years ago, providing I wouldn't go down with the WCW or something else, which I didn't want to because I was doing a few movies. I did Body Slam, then I did Complex World, Prisoners Rock and Roll, 65 episodes of Super Mario, the live segments in the cartoon. I had the beard shaved. So to me, I've been keeping busy with that, commercials and stuff like that. For me, that's plenty.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.